Hello and thank you for tuning in to Millennium Movies. Today I'm going to be breaking down the first trailer we got for Stephen King's Pet Sematery reboot, which is set for a release of April 5th of next year. So, Pet Sematery is one of King's finer novels for sure. It's one of my favorites. And if you don't know the story of it, well, it basically goes like this. Louis Creed, played by Jason Clarke in this movie, and his wife Rachel and their two children, Gage and Ellie, move to a rural home where they are welcome and enlightened about the eerie pet cemetery located near their home. After the tragedy of their cat being killed by a truck, Louis resorts to burying it in the mysterious pet cemetery, which is definitely not as it seems, as it proves to be to the Creeds that sometimes dead is better. Now, in this story, I'm going to give a little bit of spoilers here. If you're not familiar with Pet Sematery, you might want to go ahead and click off this video now, because I'm going to be spoiling a pretty big thing about the novel. But basically, in Pet Sematery, Lewis's son Gage gets run over as well by a 18-wheeler, and he's killed. And Lewis is feeling just riddled with guilt, and just he wants his son back at any means necessary. So he decides he's going to bury him in the pet cemetery against the wishes of Judd, who is played by John Lithgow in this movie. So his son comes back to life, but he's like a shell of himself. He's like this monstrous, demonic type of entity that just wants to hurt anything and everything that he comes across. So that's the gist of Pet Sematery, and of course Lewis having to try and unfortunately take down his son, because he's causing havoc across the the little area that they're in. So in this trailer, I gotta say, it looks very promising. We have, like I said, Jason Clarke and John Lithgow as our lead roles in Pet Sematary, and those are two brilliant actors. Can't wait to watch their performances. And I gotta say too, if your cat started looking like this, wouldn't you want to get the hell out of there as soon as possible, or is that just me? This is a creepy looking cat. So congrats on the kitty who's playing Church in this movie, because looks like he's going for the Oscar nom this year, or for next year, excuse me. I'm just joking. But as we also see in the trailer, it wouldn't be a Stephen King adaptation without some creepy kids doing what creepy kids do. But in this case, these are the kids who bury their, who Judd tells Lewis that some of the kids bury their dead animals in the pet cemetery. So I imagine this is just what that is. Of course, they're wearing a bunch of this kid's got like a cat mask on. The other one's got like a dog mask on. So it's just kids burying their loved pets. But it just, of course, obviously looks creepy, because with the tone of the trailer, especially with those like creepy, eerie sounding drums, it just kind of makes it just kind of heightens up the creep factor. So moving on from there, we also get a nice shot towards the end of the trailer where we see the Pet Cemetery is written on this cross here. And I gotta say, like I said, this trailer looks promising. I like the family dynamic we got going on here. Of course, even the little boy you can see here at the dinner table, doesn't he remind you of the same little boy in the original Pet Cemetery adaptation? Or is that just me looking too much into it? I think they look kind of like spot on, like too similar to each other almost. It's a little creepy, but yeah. So that's kind of the gist of what we got in this trailer. It looks like we're going to be seeing some of the same stuff that we got in the first trailer, by the way, which is because I got to tell you, Zelda, who is Rachel's older sister, she creeped the hell out of me, the absolute living hell out of me as a child. She's got like spinal meningitis or something of the sort, some type of disease, and she's basically bed riddled the rest of her life. She can't move out, and she can't do anything on her own, and she's got this creepy sounding voice. And she basically died with Rachel watching over her as a little girl. And man, when Rachel as an adult, like opens the door to her room and she sees, Zelda, kind of like twisting her body in this like creepy manner and telling her that, she's going to get her and she's going to make her feel like how she felt. That scene always scared the hell out of me as a child. So I'm going to be curious to see the return of Zelda in this Pet Cemetery adaptation. And then of course we have the college student who is a student of Mr. Lewis, who's played again by Jason Clarke. One of his students getting in a car accident and dying, and then him seeing that young man follow him around with, of course, the bloody head and just completely grotesque and disgusting looking. But I have faith. And if you don't know who the directors are for this Pet Cemetery adaptation, the directors are Kevin Kolsch and Dennis Widmeyer, and they're most known for their the two shorts that they directed inside the movie Holidays, which came out in 2016. If you haven't seen it as a horror fan, you should probably check it out. I think it's definitely worth a shot. They directed the two shorts in there for New Year's Eve and Valentine's Day. So I really like their work in there, and they're on Twitter. You can go ahead and give them a follow. I think they're going to treat this property with a lot of love and a lot of care, and I think they're very talented directors and writers. So that's all I have to say about that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this Pet Cemetery trailer. Did you think it looked pretty creepy? Did you think it looked as eerie as I thought it did? Or are you a little bit more hesitant than I am? Because I kind of want to welcome this with open arms. We have another great adaptation coming next year, hopefully, in It Chapter 2 from Mr. Stephen King. So, plenty of things to look forward to for us King fans. But anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a like, as it does help out my small channel a whole bunch. And if you like this type of movie news and movie content for mostly horror films, then go ahead and consider subscribing. I'd love to have you along for the ride. I've got a bunch of other videos like this that you might like on the channel. So, until next time, guys, this has been Millennium Movies, and I will see you all very soon.